Okay, this is part 2 of the Honda generator, the E1500. And last episode we got the flywheel back on. What I did was I set the points to 18 thousandths. Get your feeler gauge, set it to 18 thousandths. I got that set, and now we'll check and see if we got spark. You don't have to put the cover and stuff back on if you get you a setup like this. Get you an extension right here that accepts your sockets. Cut the end of it off and put it into a 1/2 inch drill. Now you got your electric starter. Okay, now we're going to check to see if we got spark here. Stick it on there like that. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, it's a sparking. Don't really want to hang on to it. Kind of a yellow spark. I would like a nice blue spark. A yellow spark is kind of a weak spark, but we're gonna change the points in this anyway. You get these points on eBay, they're about $35. Kind of expensive, but and we'll take the flywheel back off. Put this thing in reverse. That nut off there. Yeah, I pulled the tank and all that off of it, so lighten it up a little bit so I get up here on my workbench. That thing was so heavy. It really wasn't that heavy. It's 100 and something pounds, but the size of it made it awkward to get up on the bench. Anyway, I got it up there. So now we'll pull out these points. Okay, here's your points right here. We got the cover off of it. So you want to, these are set at 18 thousandths. So it's probably a good idea to have your key way up towards the top. You can't turn it here, so you got to reach in behind, turn it from the shaft back here. That ought to be pretty close. Good thing they give you another screw, because that was about shot. It's shot on the Phillips side, but it's okay on the straight side. So it sits on a little piece right there. The first thing we're going to do before we take them completely out, we're going to make sure we got the right ones. You don't want to go through all the trouble of pulling them out and then find out they ain't the right set. Now see the difference in these? This screw hole's clear down here, and this is kind of in the middle here. Yeah, they're quite different. So I don't know if they're going to work or not. I could move this over to the side over here and just see how they fit in there. Don't want to rip all that out of there, being I do have a spark now. Okay, this will fit up in... No, they won't even fit. This little tab here goes down on here, and it won't fit down in there. So when you buy parts like this, make sure you get it within your 30-day window, because I could still send these back if it's within 30 days of when you're buying it. So yeah, I'll be sending these back because they ain't gonna work. So that's too bad. So now what we'll do, it's going to make this job a whole lot easier though, but I was really wanting to set a new points in there. But so what we're going to do now, put this back in place here. It's a good thing I didn't start ripping all that out of there. I'd be mad, because then you'd have to go putting it all back in. Well, I can't even, I'll have to put this screw back in there. Okay, I got the points back in. Got this kind of loose. Okay, now we're going to set the points again. Come down here. Got the keyway towards the top. Now we're going to open this up a little bit. Loosen that back up a little bit. Stick your screwdriver in between there. Shove it open a little bit. Close it. Bring it back a little bit. Just want to make sure that gap is right around 18 thousandths. That looks pretty good right there. Okay, that looks good. Okay, I think before we put the cover on, I think we're gonna check the spark. Gonna see how good it looks. Now we're gonna check and see what we got here. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, now we'll turn it back towards the top. Now I'll put this little cover back on. Well, I'll probably take the keyway out. Make it a little easier. Okay, we want to set this in there where it's not touching anything. Like right there is okay. Put her keyway back in. Now I can stick her flywheel on there. Believe we got it. Now before you get all this put back together, you gotta check your spark again. All kind of spark. Sparking at the spark plug and sparking on the side of the plug. So I think we're good to go. Now we got, see the condensers up here. I'll take this bolt out to get the cover back on. Generally your condenser's down here by the points, but this in here is just wired up where they can. So now we can start putting this thing back together. Okay, before I put all this back together, I want to show you one thing real quick. That another project I did off camera that you may have to do. If your carburetor throttle is really stiff and it sticks in place, then what you do, you have to pull the carburetor off and take off the butterfly. the little flapper in there and pull that stem out of there that it's connected to. You gotta get some fine sandpaper and just sand it down there where it goes into. Just sand it, oil it, sand it, oil it until it fits down in there and it's really loose. See that? It's connected to your governor. So if it's really tight, then you're not going to be able to, you just have to put it in one place. And this one was stuck like that, so I'm sure there's others that's going to be the same way. Just see right here, it's connected to the governor. So the more power you're going to use, the more it's going to give it more gas. So I took all this off, took the whole carburetor out, pulled out these studs, pulled the whole carburetor out, and got all that fixed. So if you got a problem with your carburetor sticking, see, you'd move it and it would just stick in place. It wouldn't return back. That's the problem you'd have. Now it's working really good. So I thought I'd show you that before I put it all back together. Something to keep in mind to check. Okay, now we'll get the covers and stuff for it. Okay, now we're going to put the short ones in. Little short bolts. So we can't get this on there now. Okay, you'll tighten these down a little bit, not too tight. Okay, now ready for the cover. This out of the way here. This in here, you got to get it pretty much by a wrench. $10mm wrench. Okay, the one down here we can get with a socket. Put that on there. You want to run it through that little ring right there so it don't get up against the head. Mess up your spark plug wire there. Okay, now we're ready for the gas tank. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, looks like I'm going to have to get one of these gas bowls here. I knocked it off and then putting the tank back on. And I don't know what I broke, but it ain't all there. So I'm just going to hold that there, turn on the gas, and try to get some in the carburetor. So we'll see if it'll start. Choke on. It ain't gonna run very long if it does run. Okay. Don't like that. Thing is really revving high. Looks like that governor's wide open. Yeah, I'll have to work on that. Somehow I got that governor where it's wide open. So we don't want it wide open. Try it again here. Yeah, it's probably out of gas now. Oh well. Well, I'm gonna have to get another one of these petcock valves or whatever they're called. Got the little sediment bowl in it. It's got a little groove around it. That's the ring that holds it. There's nothing there to, I don't know if I dropped a part or what. Nothing there to hold it up in there. So I'll just get another hole, new one. I'll just take them points and send them back in and get a new one of these and it'll be good to go. So we got it going. But not quite there yet. I think one thing is another. Seen this thing here is pretty loose when it was running. Yeah, I don't know what I did. I putting this tank back on, I bumped this thing and it all fell apart. Now it looks like I'm gonna have to buy another one. Because I don't see how. I don't see what holds it up in there. But anyway, this green light came on, so apparently it's probably making power, I would say. But yeah, looks like we might have to have a part 3. So I'm just gonna leave this thing up here on the workbench and until I get all this fixed. And thanks for watching.